So I want you to take a look as to where you're sitting. If there is garbage, if there's a bottle, if there is a plate, if there is a cup, I want you to let's tidy up now. I'm going to give us about 3 minutes to pick up our garbage, to put it in the back, because we're going to do a reflective exercise right now. So if you have water bottle, if you have cups, thank you, ladies. I see some ladies going cleaning up. Wow. This is what Girl Guides is all about. We care for Mother Nature. Wonderful. Wonderful. This side, you are looking good. And this is what true leadership is all about. What did you just do that was just so interesting?
Asked her if she knows who owns the water bottle. Asked her if she knows who owns the water bottle.
You saw the water bottle on the ground and nobody was moving it, right? Give her a round of applause, everybody. That was awesome. Okay, are we now in a clean space? Over here, are we in a clean space? Okay, over here, are we in a clean space? All right, all heads are up, all phones are back in your bags. I know that felt like taking off a piece of your arm, hey, when I said all phones back in your bag. How did that feel? Good? Okay. All right. This is what is going to happen. Okay, thank you so much. Ms. Brown is the model. So we have approximately 35 minutes before we end. Unfortunately, there was another activity that we were supposed to do on negotiations, but we will not have an opportunity to do that today because we want to get you out of here on time for 2 o'clock because we have another function here this evening. I'm sorry? Oh, absolutely. All members of the Bahamas Girl Guides Association are expected to come out to celebrate World Thinking Day this evening. There is a fabulous event plan, and we trust that you will come out to support that and join your other sisters. So I will do just a quick debriefing with you from your last activity, because some of you did very well, though some of you had more rectangles than squares, but you did a very, very good job. And then I'm going to ask you to work with your facilitator to just jot down the big takeaways that you are walking away with this afternoon from the seminar. So what have you learned about communication? I want you to dig deep, and I want you to remember what the minister said. I want you to think about the activities that you were engaged in today, what proved to be very difficult, what was easier because of either listening or because of the way in which you communicated. So we want to jot down as many of those as possible. So these are large sticky notes. Imagine if you teach youth to put sticky notes in your book this size, right? But these are sticky notes, and each group will get one of these, and then we can display them at a later time, all right? So if you can just give those, please, to the facilitators. I'm just going to go through a couple more questions. How was this last activity a little bit more challenging than the first, even though it was, by show of hands, put up a number 1 or a number 2. Which one did you feel was more challenging? They're both challenging. Number 2, okay, so I see some number 2s, some number 1s, all right. Did anyone emerge as a leader in the second activity? You emerged as a leader. Okay, a leader. Can you come up here for 1 second? All right. Did any other leaders emerge in the groups? All right, would you mind coming up quickly for me? Did you see a leader emerge in your group? She was the leader. All right, come on up, please. All right. Okay. So you all were either the leaders or you saw a leader emerge in your group. Were these leaders identified through their communication? Okay, so tell me what stood out to you, either as a leader or what you were able to witness as leadership taking place in your group today.
Okay, so what I was able to witness is see everyone stepping out, showing their ideas, and everyone putting their ideas together to make one.
Very good. Now, how did the leader use their communication skills to make that happen?
So what she did actually, when we all was spoken, she said, okay, let's stop. Let's take our turns. She pointed, everyone said, okay, now your turn, go. Now everyone said what they have to say, was like, okay, well, we'll build, out of what you said, we'll take this out and put this together with what she said, and then what you also said, we'll do that. We'll also add that in between with the both of you guys said, and that's how we came up with our plan. And we basically, everyone is leaders. We all, everyone had a turn. So a lot of leaders emerged from what we did, from the activities we had out there.
Let's give her a round of applause. That was so brilliantly communicated. Very good. All right. And so, what I'm also hearing here as well is that these leaders made everyone feel valued in the group, and that is very important. So, you used your words to empower your team members. Is that accurate? Oh. And they were backing each other up. So, okay. Excellent. Excellent.
Okay, I believe inside our group that we had a lot of communication happening, that we had people presenting ideas. We also had a lot of negotiation, like a lot. We had a lot of people when we were doing the storybook challenge. We were debating over which way, how the story was playing out, what was happening, and our main issue was that people had different ideas, but we eventually came together to figure out how to put those ideas together to actually get a story to take place.
Excellent. Isn't that what you're supposed to do? Very, very good. All right, Lene. Were you the leader or did you observe a great leader? You were a leader. All right, so tell us. Yes, Lene was the leader. All right, Lene, so tell us what qualities you think from a communication standpoint made you a great leader today.
I think that it made me a great leader is how everyone was listening to what I was saying and what the other leader was saying and listening and compacting.
Impressive. Very good.
Where people pointed out as to where I was leader was during the circle challenge, where I just kept on giving ideas on what to do, like hold hands, and went in the circle and made sure we made an actual square before we laid it down.
Very good. And is that not Danae, maybe? Is she here? Danae? I saw. I don't see her. Okay. Okay. All right. Did any of you find, not necessarily any of these girls, but did you find some of the communication to be aggressive at times? I know someone said to me, I feel slightly overwhelmed with all of the conversations because someone is saying to do this and someone else is saying to do that. So how do we deal with situations like that when you feel like there's information overload?
Step back.
Everybody takes a step back. Does everybody have to agree to do that for it to work well? All right, well, maybe. All right, so anything you have to add over here, ladies?
Well, I just want to say that I feel like in everyone's group, everyone did their part and spoke out when they needed to speak out. But in my group, like even with the first storybook challenge, we did have other people who took the lead, but we had the full leaders, but we had also had sub leaders, and everybody in themselves made themselves known, seen, and heard. And when it was time to step back, they did step back so other people can take the lead. And even in the second one, where we had to all blindfold and like just pretty much like trust everybody doing what we're supposed to be doing. Everybody, when they were told to like go here or go there and hold this or hold that, they did. And when they had ideas to present or things to say, they still would tell their sides and like explain what they should do instead of just doing what was told to do.
So she hit on a very important point. All good leaders know when to lean in and when to step out. And why is that important in leadership? Because what do you do when you take a step back? What are you actually allowing other people to do in your group?
You're allowing other people to grow and share their ideas.
Excellent. You are allowing other leaders to nurture their leadership skills.
You're also giving yourself a break so you don't get overwhelmed.
Look at these young ladies. I mean, my goodness, straight to the C-suite.
Stepping back is also setting an example for the leaders that are, growing and coming up as well.
Magnificent answers. Magnificent. I am impressed. I am really impressed. All right. Anything to add?
I feel like with the third game, like being a leader also has to come with like a level of trust, because just how it came, all us, like without even talking about it, like they just appointed me to say, okay, you point out and we call the numbers and we do what we have to do. It also had to came with everybody being their own leader to say, okay, we're gonna listen to this one person, we're gonna get order, and we're gonna get decency. And then I also feel like being a leader, like you can't just be like, I don't want to say one-sided or all full of yourself. You have to be willing to like listen and hear and feel how other people feel, because not everybody's feelings are the same. And I just feel like cooperation is key with being a leader.
Well, I think these ladies could have been the presenters today. These are fantastic, fantastic answers. So thank you so much. You may have a seat. Before we go to our last activity, I'm just going to ask you to give me one word that you can think of when you hear the words effective communication. One word to describe in your mind what effective communication is. Yes, just shout it out. Together, okay. Comprehension, yes. Understanding. What else comes to your mind when you think of effective communication? Trust is a huge one, yes. Precise, precision. Very good. Success. Do you think you are more successful if you communicate more effectively? Do you think it increases your chances of being successful? Very good. What about going on a job interview, even if you want a summer job? Do you have to know how to communicate? If you work in a store, let's say you're working in the movies, you must know how to talk to customers. You must know how not to lose your cool when someone makes you angry, right? You must know how to adjust to the situation that you have in front of you. Any other words that describe that? Effective communication. Yes. Listening and hearing. Yes, absolutely. And last one? Pardon me? Delivery. girls, and young women, I have to tell you, I am extremely impressed with all of you. It is clear that you have had great exposure in your schools, in your guide companies as a ranger. I want to congratulate all of you. Today was not easy. It was meant to be challenging. As educators, we like to get you into a little sweet spot that we call productive struggle, right? So you should have to work toward a goal. I just want to end with this very brief quote, and it's called Listen. It says, when something is said, it does not automatically mean that it is heard. When something is heard, it does not automatically mean that it is understood. When something is understood, it does not automatically mean that it is accepted. When something is accepted, it does not automatically mean that it is realized. And when something is realized once, it does not automatically mean that it is forever true. So does information change all of the time? Daily? Hourly? By the minute? By the second? It sure does. All right, so in your packets, you have some excellent resources from the World Association of Girl Guides and Girl Scouts. They are leadership resources, specifically on communication. And the first handout says we have 2 ears and only 1 mouth, to remind us that we should listen twice as much as we speak. All right, so I'm going to encourage you to read through all of these handouts after the seminar today. Mrs. Burrows, would you like for us to complete the takeaways very quickly, or would you, is that okay? We will finish in 20 minutes on the dot. All right, so I'm going to ask the facilitators, please, if they can just stand over in front of their sheets that have been placed on the wall. You don't have to write anything very long. It could be 1 word, it could be a short phrase, but I want you to write down 1 takeaway, please, from today. Something that you learned, something that you heard that resonated with you, and perhaps something that you're going to do differently after you leave today. All right. All right, Mrs. Brown is working with her group in the front. No more than 10 minutes for this activity, please, and then I'm going to ask Mrs. Tira Johnson to come forward, please, and prepare to give our vote of thanks. Please ensure that your input is given. Okay, everyone should be out of their seats, please, and over in front of their groups section.
Switch places. When I get them on the camera, switch them on the feed, okay? Main, switch the main one. Not yet, not yet.
When you have given your input, you can have a seat. You may have a seat once you've given your input.
You didn't have it switched that whole time? You didn't have it switched that whole time? The button is free. Let me do that again. We're going in the beginning. I get free. Go.
Okay, as you are wrapping up, we are preparing the certificates. We do not want you to leave. We do not want you to leave. We've already printed the certificates. We want to be able to give them to you so that you can take them with you.
Ladies, the 2 days ago, the association would have sent you an email reminding you and giving you particulars about today. You will receive a link for a survey. We're going to ask you please to complete that and to send and just press submit, and that will come back to the association. All right, so while everyone is finishing up, we're going to ask the Chief Commissioner, please, if she can come. Mrs. Burrows, would you mind, are you going to assist with the distribution? Okay. Okay, I'm going to ask for everyone's attention, please. Mrs. Avis Richardson, our chief trainer, is going to offer a vote of thanks. Please, if I can have everyone's attention.
Okay, good afternoon, everybody. I trust you've had a wonderful session, but all of this could be possible without lots of persons. So, I was not originally scheduled for the vote of thanks, but we fill in as needs be because as guides, we are supposed to always be prepared. So, I'd like to begin by expressing our heartfelt gratitude to each and every one of you for being part of today's seminar. It's been such a privilege to be here with such an inspiring and motivated group of young women. First, a big, huge thank you to the organizers and those who have facilitated and others who have worked behind the scenes to make this event possible. Your dedication and effort have truly made a difference, and we appreciate that all that you've done to bring us together today. To our speakers and panelists, our facilitators, thank you for sharing your wisdom, experiences, and all that you've done to make this event possible. Finally, I want to express my deep appreciation to all the participants here today. Your energy, enthusiasm, and willingness to engage in meaningful discussions are what make the seminar truly special. I hope that each of you leaves here with a sense of empowerment, knowing that you are capable of achieving anything and set your mind to. Let's continue to support and uplift each other as we work towards the brighter, more inclusive future. I also will add that I'd like to thank the CIBC who sponsored this activity. Without that, we probably would not be here. I'd also like to add thanks to Xavier's Law School, the management, for having us here and having us here later. We always look forward to your support. Thank you once again, and hopefully we'll see many of you in the future. And I put out those of you who need guides in your schools, please contact one of us.
All right, so as we call your name, please, we're going to ask you to come up quickly. Please, we're not going to be able to take photos up here because the World Thinking Day team is ready and waiting to come in, so we're going to do this as smoothly as possible. Sine Clark, Sai Sana. I'm sorry, forgive me. Destiny Butler, Kenley Knowles, Priya Benaby, Zahara Jordan, Tyneek Brown, Eden Carter, Chloe Newton, Natasha Clark, Natasha Clark, Nevaeh Bowles, Amia Butler, Praneek, there you go, Barnett, Lagmisha Baptiste, Vandisha Cooper, Cordisha Cartwright, Alicia Carey. Thank you again to all of our leaders, and all of our girls who made the trek to New Providence. Catherine Campbell, Andrelicia Carey, Drzemia, pronounce your name for me. Jerzania, okay, thank you. Alice Christina, Mikesha, Tatiana Deal, Sinai Dorset, Alicia Dryden, Alyssa Evans, Jody Farquharson, Natea Ferguson, Janelle Francis, Trinity Forbes, Lene Farquharson, Tavia Ferguson, Leah Gittins, Shakina George, Lael Garraway, Nawanka Grant, Leah Gittins, yes. Jordan Hanna, Zaria Hepburn, LaRae Hall, Renaya Hall, Chelsea Heason, Talia Jones, Talia. Milanita, pronounce your name for me.
Melinda.
Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry, I misread that. Brianna Johnson. Bionstania, Joseph, Jewel Lightborn, Shania Lundy, Nia Miller. Gabrielle Wiley, Hannah Smith, Delia Moss, Gianna Wiley, Kyla Russell, Cariel Johnson, Ashley Smith, Chelsea McLaughlin, Tavania Aubrey, Gabriella, Atlas Paris Boleg, Jaden Young. Megan Mackey, Rain McKenzie, Brianna Moree, Antonique Miller. Mrs. Richardson, Mrs. Richardson, Ayanthe Mackey. Is Mrs. Richardson still? Renee Monker, Ariana Pyfrom, Michelle Pierre, Caitlin Phillips, Lania Roll, Taryn Russell, Acacia Roll, Trinity Ramming. If you did not sign in when you came this morning, please check in at the back table. She left. Okay. Oh, Dania Gray. Dania, you still here? Or she was in field. Shawnee Rollins, Brianna Smith, Napetra Storr, Sandriana, Gabrielle Seymour, Tania. You're welcome. Hanisha Solomon, Selena Sands, Naya Sylvain, almost there, Tristal Thompson, Tanisha Thompson, Narissa Thompson, Temperance Thurston, Azaria Wilson, here Renique Wright, Veronique, Akia Wright, Stephanie Wilson, Jael Winder, Shayo Lundy, and last but by no means least, Manaya Davis. While we are waiting for these last certificates to be distributed, I'm going to ask, please, that you just take your seats. We will all leave in just 2 minutes. Let's just give these ladies the courtesy of allowing them to receive their certificates, please. All right, please take a look around you. Make sure you're not leaving any of your valuables behind. Your purses, your phones, headphones. Make sure you have your folders. If your pens have fallen out, please ensure that you put those back into your bags. By a show of hands, how many of our girls can we expect to see later this evening? I expect to see every brownies aren't here, every guide, every ranger, every leader. What time are we going to meet back here for? 6 o'clock this evening. Thank you to our Chief Commissioner. Thank you to all of our facilitators. Thank you to all of our leaders. If you are visiting from another island, please stand. Please stand. Wow. We welcome you. We are so grateful to have you here with us. We hope you know you always have a second home here. I hope you're enjoying your new lodge. How many of you slept in the lodge last night? You will go down in history as the first girls in that lodge. So it is absolutely beautiful. Special thank you to everyone that worked really hard to get that together for you. All right, ladies, we hope you had a great time. We hope you will see you again next year. I look forward to seeing all of you this evening. Please make sure you have everything, and I wish all of you a safe journey wherever you are going. Thank you so much. Please wait for your leader if you are from one of the family islands. NCA, you need to come to the front, please. If you are part of 68, there is a leader asking for you.